So I'm really exhausted. And hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. Anyway, so I'm really exhausted because I have finished really a cumbersome or troublesome business or task to do. So this time, so what I'm going to talk about is, so if you have already checked the title and the conclusion of this episode, maybe you may know the topic or the track I'm going to talk about. So the track or the title or the topic I'm going. So this time anyway. So in this episode, I'd like to talk about claim for refund with regard to shares of Swiss companies before going to the tax authority. So which is the title of this episode so this time I'm going to talk about it. So this time, so I wrote a writing in the description column of this episode, and this is a kind of a conclusion. But actually, so it's not, I didn't think it was good to call that writing I didn't think it was good to call that writing conclusion. So which is why, so I just wrote a writing without I mean writing the word conclusion at the first part of that writing. So the writing is written as I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have before going to the tax authority. So which is a summary of this episode. I'm going. So this is a summary I'm going to talk about. Anyway. So not the summary is not what I'm going to talk about. So the details or the entire content of this episode is what I'm going to talk about. So to start with, it's really difficult for me to speak English language, but actually, so that is because my mother tongue is Japanese language, but actually, so I have shares of some Swiss companies. So but actually, so I'm sorry for my telling you, but actually, so many times. Anyway, I have some shares of Swiss companies, or I have some shares of how should I explain to you? So I have some shares of some huge companies originated in Switzerland. So the Switzerland is a country you know. So if you are European, I mean if you are Western European, I think Eastern European people knows what Switzerland is, or what kind of country Switzerland is. Switzerland is Switzerland is located to the south of Germany. Yeah. So I have been to Switzerland, and so at that time when I went, so of course I have been to Switzerland before the pandemic of COVID-19. So I have been to Switzerland, and anyway, I don't tell you which city I went, but anyway. So I have been to Switzerland, and it was really it was really a good experience for me. So the experience of traveling in Switzerland was a really remarkable and impressive experience or memory for me, which has been fully engraved into myself. Anyway, so I told you, that traveling in Switzerland was really impressive experience. But actually, so when I that was not a big deal actually. So I don't have full recollections of such traveling about I don't have perfect recollections of the traveling in Switzerland. But actually, so it was really funny. Not funny. It was really so interesting. Traveling there was really interesting. I was happy, and I'm still happy about having gone or having traveled in that country anyway. So but actually, so that traveling in Switzerland is not related to the properties of Swiss companies I have. So this time I filled out a documents. I filled the documents necessary for formalities to get refundments from how should I say, from maybe Switzerland, actually, maybe. So telling you my financial situation about the shares of Swiss companies I have. So I have paid extraneous amount of tax for Switzerland, which is a current financial situation of myself. With regards to only with regards to the shares of Swiss companies I own. So which is why this time so how should I say, miraculously this was really a rare case, but actually I could create a time for processing formalities to claim for refund and to get some refundments. I have extraneously paid for Switzerland. So which is why so I have just finished. As I told you in the beginning of this episode, I have finished necessary chores to do. So I have finished, which means I filled the documents necessary for necessary for the formalities, or necessary for processing of that refundment from Switzerland to Japan and finally to my bank account, actually. So which to proceed such an international business. So I had to write I had to write some documents. So which is why but actually writing such documents was really cumbersome and really troublesome for me to start with. So I had to manually write necessary information into those documents. I need this time. So this is a case of the formalities between applies to the relationship between Japan and Switzerland. So which is why, so for example, if you live in another country, for example, so if you live in so West European Europe, any country is fine. If you live in Germany or if you live in France, so maybe you need other types or other sets of documents necessary for getting refundments from Switzerland. So which is why, so if you I don't think you live in Japan, but actually I don't know if you live in Japan, so so the same set or the same type of documents would come to be necessary. So I don't know your financial situation, so I don't know your identities. But actually, so anyway, if you have the same time of not same time, but actually, so if you have the same type of troubles, like, so for example, what I'd like to tell you is that, so if you have the same type of troubles, and the typical example is of which the typical example is that you'd like to get refundments from Swiss companies or Switzerland, but actually, so you don't know what to do. So please listen to this episode. And so I wrote necessary pieces of information, and one of them is refund claimed for the year. So this time I'm creating this episode on August in 2022. So which is why, so the how should I say, claimable, well, the years I can claim for refund 2021, but actually, so this is the first time of claim in my life. So which is why, so I'm thinking of claiming the refunds of past years as a previous year than the previous year 2021. So which means so this time so I got a letter from a security companies I use. But actually, so this time the announce said that it's possible to claim the refundments, not refundments. It's possible to claim for refund of 2021. But actually, so I'm thinking of getting some refundments so in 2020 and in 2019. And if possible, I'd like to get refundments, or I'd like to get the money I extraneously paid for Switzerland in 2018. So, but actually, so which is why I'm going to go to the local tax authority, and in which I'm thinking of consulting the officers in that tax authority. And so I'd like to consult, so for example, saying for example, I'd like to get some refundments in previous years than the previous year. Like this time, so I think I know I could get the extraneous money I have paid for Switzerland in 2021. But actually, so I'd like to get the past money I paid extraneously for Switzerland in 2020 and in 2019 and in 2018. So anyway, so but which is the thing I'm thinking of. So this time, so as you can know that what I was talking about is how should I say preliminary phase of this entire process for getting refunds or refundments from Switzerland. And so this is I'm recording this episode before going to the tax office. So I'm going to go to the local tax office or the local tax authority. So which means so I don't know whether I could really claim, or I could really get the past money I paid extraneously, or I paid for Switzerland. I can claim. I think I can claim for the past payments or past taxes. I paid additionally for Switzerland. So which is why, and so the additional money I have additionally paid so 2020 and 2020 and 2019 and 2018. So this time I think I can get the additional money I paid for Switzerland in 2021. But actually, so the payment was done in 2021. But actually, so I'm thinking of getting additional money, additional payments I paid for Switzerland in 2020 and before. So I'm exhausted. Anyway, for just writing those documents. The documents was really tough for me. That was really a tough task, or that was really a tough homework for me. That was a homework I have done in schools or as a student. So which is, but actually, I'm so well, I'm not boasting of this one. But actually, so I was glad studying. I was glad studying. Also, I think you have found my English skill really collapsed, or really bad actually. And I'm sorry for my low proficiency or low linguistic level of English language. But actually, so my pronunciation is not so good. So as for English language, but actually, so I was good at studying when I was a student. Anyway, so which is why so homeworks were fairly easy for me. But actually, so writing these documents was really difficult. And so this is, how should I say, this would have been a homeworks for standard students or ordinary students in my country. So which is what I could understand. Anyway, so I'm not boasting of my studying performance and in the past anyway. That was studying performance when I was a student was a past story anyway. So I'm going to anyway. I'd like to go to. I'd like to departure here, and I'd like to go to the local tax office or local tax authority anyway. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you. So by the way, I additionally wrote the words part one in the beginning of the title. So which is why as I told you. So what I have just spoken out is a preliminary phase of the entire process, which means so this is the part one, and the entire process the entire process or the entire episodes have part one and part two, and I'm thinking of containing those two parts into that entire process necessary for so getting refundments or refunds. So which is why anyway. So I wrote the words part one into the beginning of the title of this episode, and I'm thinking of write part two in the beginning of the title of the next episode, and in which I'm going to tell you what happened after going to the local tax authority. And it's really hot today. So anyway, that is because it's summer in my country. So hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. So I'm really bad at talking with others, but actually, this is a kind of a speech. So it's like I'm having a speech. I don't know whether it's fine to say I have a speech in thinking about what. So with regard to or in regards to English language. Anyway, so hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. This time, so what I'm going to talk about is the afterward. After going to the local tax authority. So so what I was if you do not remember, well, if you have not remembered what I have talked about before, or just before this episode was so if you have no idea, if you have forgotten what I have talked about in the previous episode. So I think so just telling you the title of this episode is enough for you, I think. So the title of this episode is Part 2, Claim for Refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies after going to the tax authority. And so there is a writing in the description column of this episode. So so the writing writes. So the writing is written like not like as I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have after going to the tax authority. So the writing is I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have after going to the tax authority. Actually, telling you the truth. So I have just gone to tax authority. So so I actually telling you the truth. I have finished how should I say, the necessary formalities or necessary processes. So I have finished necessary processes, and so with a staff member or with an officer in tax authority or in the local tax office. I mean, so and I almost forgot. Not I almost forgot. So I remembered that I completely forgot that forgot to tell you what to write in the documents. In the documents necessary for handling or proceeding the claim for refund. So what to write is So refund claimed for the years. So there's only one type of, well, there's only one formality to claim for refund from the Swiss company. So the claim is going to be sent to Switzerland, and so refundment, or the money I extraneously paid for Switzerland may come back to me, or may refund to me, which is so so the entire structure of the claim for refund to Switzerland, or from Switzerland, so I may be able to get refund or refundments from Switzerland, and but the claim is sent to, or the claim is directed to the government of Switzerland, or the tax authority of Switzerland, which is the entire process. And what you write is, so of course it refund claims for the years. So as I told you in the previous episode, so I wrote the previous year and other past previous years. And the previous year is, I'm recording this episode on August in 2022. So the previous year is 2021, and the other previous years are 2020 and 2019 and 2018. And another stuff to write is, so contact. This time, so I wrote my own email address into the column, or into the blank. So, and of course, so the beneficial owner of the income is a blank, or the column given for name and first name and first name and full address. So of course I don't tell you my Japanese name to you anyway. So but and I don't tell you the exact address to you. I don't tell you the exact address, and I don't tell you my own Japanese name. And so another stuff to write is beneficial owner and or trustee. I don't know how to read this letter. And anyway, this what to write is maybe the address of the securities company. So authorized. So what is written in this part is beneficial owner, trustee, or authorized agent, representative, and name and postal address in full. And this is compulsory, and full address of payment, and there is another column to write, and full address of payment is necessary, and name address in full of the bank, anyway, or post office, which is what to write. And another one is amounts have to be indicated in Swiss francs, and so there is a list. If you write, or if you create this document, so you can see a blank list, and in which you have to write the names of companies you own, or you have some shares of. So in this case, I wrote the name of the companies, and I wrote other stuff. I wrote number of shares, and dividend per share, and its rate, or its percentages were written. Its percentages are written, and so due date, or the payment of the due date, or the date of the payment of dividends are written, or so better said, I wrote those dates of the payment of the payments of dividends, and others are, so gross dividends refund at the rate of anyway. So gross dividends are what I wrote in that blank list. And so total gross income is what I wrote, and total refund claim is necessary to write. And so according to this document, so this covers not only the refund or refundments from the incomes of dividends, or so this also covers the incomes in the form of interest, which means, so for example, if you have bond, or which means if you have some money you have lent you have lent to, for example, Swiss government. So you are maybe in such a hypothetical situation. In such a hypothetical situation, you are you are able to, or you can get some money in the forms of interest. Because if you borrow money, so you have to return the money to the owner, or to the creditor who lent you, or who lent you that amount of money. So that is, so in the case of bond, you have, so if you have some bond of Swiss government or Swiss companies, so the positions are going to be, or the positions would be inverted, which means, so you can get returns, or including the interest produced by that money you lent, or you lent Switzerland. Anyway, so but actually, so the structure, or financial structure of bond is such a thing. So if you can't understand my explanation, so to start with, please investigate the meaning or the entire structure of bonds. So that is not difficult. So for your studying basic financial stuff. So if you do not how bond works, or how bonds work, so please check out online documents, so that you can get really, so you can get really, so clarified explanation. You can easily get fully clarified explanations, giving you sufficient understandings of bonds. Anyway, so this document covers this document covers, so incomes in the form of dividends, and this also covers the income in the form of interest, of maybe produced by, for example, bonds, or other rent money by you, which means, so somebody in Switzerland borrow money. If somebody in Switzerland borrows money from you, so you can get interest, and you can get incomes from in the form of the interest and the returns from that somebody in Switzerland, which is the structure of this what I'm talking about. And so and of course, so signature is necessary, and so place and data are necessary to write, and signature of claimant is necessary. And so there is a, how should I say, there is a reverse for the other side is included. So please do not miss it. If you are going to write this, or if you are going to fill the necessary parts to write. So for if you are going to get some refundments or refunds from Switzerland, and the other side, or the reverse side has, this is a list of questions. So questions to be answered by beneficial owner, which is the title of this part. So in order to fill in the claim correctly, consult the instructions at the end of this set of formulas. So which is what is written in the top of this reverse side. So anyway, so there is a list of questions. So I don't speak out each of them, but actually, so this is maybe not maybe, this is how should I say, this is directed to, or addressed to Japanese people. So which is why, so the first question is, are you a resident of Japan who is liable to tax under the laws of Japan? Which is the first question. Anyway, so this list of questions is created for the beneficiary or beneficial owners living in Japan, or living in my country. Anyway, so not roughly. So telling you the elaborate explanations of the documents I created this time. So that's all. Anyway, so I don't tell you the second time. Anyway, So the result, so telling you the conclusion. So the process is still ongoing. So I have not finished I have not finished sending the process of sending the claim to Switzerland. So it's ongoing. It's still ongoing. This phase is still ongoing. So I have not finished I have not finished the entire process of so sending the claim or claiming for refund from Switzerland or to Switzerland anyway. So the claim is going to maybe claim is going to be sent. It's going to be sent to Switzerland. So days after, which is so the present situation of this entire process. So as I told you in the previous episodes, there are four documents necessary to fill, and so so I have passed two of them to I have passed two of them to the officer or to the person of tax authority. So which is why that staff member has to process those documents having the same format in the local tax office or in the local tax authority, which is the present process. So anyway, but actually, also so it took 1.5 hours or one and a half hours or 1 hour and 30 minutes were necessary time for completing stuff to do in tax authority. So but actually, I took really a long time because I had staff to consult in that tax authority. So which is why so if you have the entire knowledge or if you are familiar with this field of claiming for refundments, so I don't think you are going to take you are going to take such a long time, which is what I think. So of course, actually, there's nothing else to tell you this time. So I don't tell you which companies are those I have shares of. I don't tell you I don't tell you the shares of which companies I have anyway. So which is why I'm thinking of finishing this episode. So I don't need to tell you the title and the writing of this episode. So if you'd like to read the title and the writing of this episode, please take a look at the description column of this episode so that you can check out what I wrote. And anyway, so but actually, so the process, what happened after my going to tax authority to the local tax authority. Please listen to this episode, which is but actually I didn't have to tell you this because if you are listening to this episode, you have already heard or you have already listened to what happened in that afterwards. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you. Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. So this time, wait a moment please. So I should tell you. I'm sorry for my stumbling when I'm speaking English language because English is not my mother tongue to start with. So but actually, so why I'm speaking English language is because this country. So to start with, I live in Japan and I'm a Japanese person with Japanese nationality. But actually, so anyway, this country has a declining population or decreasing population, which means the population of this country decreases every year or consecutively or and continuously. This country has a declining population, decreasing its number or decreasing itself continuously for these years, and not only it is said, but actually many people even in this country. The local people of this country are sure that the future of this country is dark or dimming. So which is why so I quit. I haven't quit completely. I haven't quit completely creating content in Japanese language, but actually, so recently I create not many contents, but actually I create contents in English language. So because this country, the future of this country is dark. So which is why I shifted my the direction of my content creation from Japanese to English, because the native speakers of English language is the I mean I'm comparing the numbers of the users of languages, and the number of the native speakers of English language is larger than that of Japanese language. So which is why I'm creating content in English language anyway. So the next stuff I'm going to talk about is what I explained when I was so what I'm going to explain is an episode or episodes. Maybe I created 2 episodes actually, as long as I remember. So I'm going to explain the background of this episode. So wait a moment, please. I'm sorry. So wait a moment, please. Yeah, I got this episode. So the title of this episode is claim for refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies before going to tax authority. Not before going to tax authority this time. A problem occurred, which is the title of this episode. And to start with, the title of this episode is part 3. And the background I was talking about is that I was going to talk about is that. So anyway, I created part 1 and part 2 for this not project, for this work. So the name of the work is Claim for Refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies. So which is the title of the past episodes related to this topic. So those past topics, or those past episodes are the past episodes related, not related to, or I in those past episodes I was explaining that I was going to proceed a claim for refund from Switzerland. Anyway, but on that topic, I have created two episodes in the past. So this time or today, at this moment, I'm creating an episode having the same title, and the title is, as I told you, part 3, claim for refund with regard to shares of Swiss companies. A problem occurred. Anyway, a problem occurred, which is a particular stuff to this episode. Anyway, so telling you the summary of this episode. So Anyway, telling you the summary of this episode, I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have. So I have some shares. I have shares of fairly huge companies, but I'm not going to tell you the name of those huge Swiss companies. But actually, so I have some stocks of those Swiss companies. Anyway, so I proceeded. Yeah. So refunding or claim for refund, which is I was trying to proceed, but actually there is a problem that I'm sorry for this noise. I created by rattling or anyway, so by extracting some papers from my envelope. But actually, so I chose a wrong envelope. Anyway, so last time, or when I proceeded that work, so I wrote so as I told you in those past episodes. But so what I told you is that so I'm thinking of claiming for refund from the dividends from the dividends of past years. Or so this time I got this document for the refund of 2021, which means so I'm recording this episode on not on so in the middle of September in 2022. So which means so what I was proceeding was that was the dividend in 2021. But actually, so not only the dividends of 2021, but also I tried to get refund from the dividends of 20 or in 2020 or in 2019 and 2018. So I try to withdraw, or I try to get refund from the dividends in those past years, or in those past 4 years, which is what I try to do. And I try to proceed. I try to proceed that refund method. I try to proceed that claim for refund with only with a set of papers. So one set contains 4 papers, and one of which is what I can store, or what I can keep to myself as a claimant. So claimant is a word used for this work, or claim for refund anyway. So but actually, so I have to so submit the other three papers, and 2 of which are going to go to the tax authority in Switzerland, and one of which it's going to be kept, or one of which is going to be preserved or stored in the tax authority, or in the tax office in this country. So which is a set of documents necessary for proceeding claim for refund in when it comes to withdrawing, or when it comes to getting the extraneous tax I paid, or you might have paid back to yourselves. I'm sorry for my complicated explanation, including complicated tense expressions or tense usages. But actually, so if you have some tax, you paid extraneously to Switzerland. So it's possible to, if those extra taxes you paid in the last 3 years, which means so after, so as I told you, there was a problem, and after investigation, it turned out that past three years are possible to claim for refund, which means so if I proceed the formalities of claim for refund, so it's possible to claim for refund, and it's possible to get the returns. Get the returns in this case. In the case of dividends in 2021 and 2020 and 2019, but actually it's not possible, or it's impossible to get the return, or get money as a return from the dividend, from the extraneous taxes I paid in 2018, which means so in 2019 I could have in 2019 I could have I could claim for refund for the dividends in 2018. But actually, so when I was in 2019, it was possible to claim for refund of the dividends, or extraneous taxes I paid in 2018. But actually, so it's impossible to claim for refund for the extraneous payments to Swiss tax authority in 2018. So, but actually, so maybe for now, it's possible to get the refunds from from 2021 to 2019. So those past 3 years are possible. You can apply for refundments. Such a thing was standard, but actually, so the problem is that so according to the securities company I use, so one year has asset, which means, so when it comes to asking for three years of refunds, so it's necessary to fill the documents, which means, so it's necessary to fill four papers for a year, which means, so there are 3 years. For there are documents for 3 years, which means 4 times 3, which means I have to fill 12 papers. 12 papers are what I have to fill, or what I have to write, or what I have to create. So which means which turned out to be really a time-consuming work. Well, so filling up 12 papers is really an exhaustive labor for me, because my work was recently really busy. Well, my work became really busier than before. Well, busier than that before. Anyway, so but actually, so which is why, so I'm wondering whether I should proceed this work further. So which means there is an option that I give up the extraneous taxes I paid in the past. So it's possible to give up, and it's possible also to choose to fill up those 12 papers, or 12 documents necessary to get returns from the past taxes I extraneously paid to Swiss tax authority. So which is why, so that is a problem. And so what that Japanese securities company said is so the design, or the how those papers look was not appropriate, which is according to a staff member of that security companies, that person said such a thing. So also necessary information was covered in the documents, or in the papers I filled up. So I filled up, or I created documents, and which had all the necessary information. But actually, so according to the member of the staff of that security companies, so how those documents, or how those papers looked was not proper for proceeding the claim for refund to Swiss tax authorities. So which is why this document was, so the documents I submitted to that security companies were sent back to me. Anyway, so this is a problem. So I'm facing right now. So which is why, so I'm thinking of whether I should give up or not. Which is a situation of this work. So anyway, so I'm going to end this episode. So if I decided to continue this work, or this claim for refund, so maybe I'm going to create another episode, or other episodes in the future. So I haven't decided which way to go. So which means whether I should proceed the creation of documents for claim for refund, or whether I should give up to save my own time. So which is what I'm wondering. And so the title is Part 3. Claim for refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies. A problem occurred, and the details, or the not details. So the summary of this episode is I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have. A problem occurred. So if you have some shares of Swiss companies, so this episode can I hope this episode is helpful for you. So that's it. Thank you very much for everything. See you. Maybe this time this application is working well actually, so I don't have to be worried about the function of this application. But actually, to start with, recently I remember that I have added a segment of advertising or created for spreading or advertising this application Anchor. Anyway, so it is why I can say I should not say something disadvantageous to this application Anchor. Anyway, so hello everybody. I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version, and maybe I have told you the entire project or the entire plan about claim for refund. Maybe I think as you have heard some voices. So I'm living in I live in an Asian country, and which is a developed one. So giving you some hint or some how should I say, some clues showing you which country I live in. So that my country has a name which begins with J. Anyway, so my country is located in a south, not Southeast Asia, but East Asia, and among some East Asian countries. So the name of my country begins with J. So which is a clue. Which is a clue for understanding or for specifying which country I live in. Anyway, so as I have told you, or maybe as you can hear, I'm a non-native speaker of English language, which is fine. So I can't speak English fast, and I can't speak English decently, because I'm speaking English as a non-native speaker of English language, and this time, so I forgot whether I had told you something about the topic or the title of this episode. And anyway, so this episode is about the entire plan, which is a claim for refund. I have proceeded for these months, and I'm creating this episode in the beginning of October in 2022, on which the Slavic war has been prolonged. Those Slavic countries are fighting. Those Slavic countries are fighting still. They are still fighting anyway. So which is the situation? And recently, a referendum had been done by Russian Federation against the four oblasts or some oblasts in the territory or in the soil of Ukraine. Anyway, so and some oblasts are combined. Combining. Russia combined Ukrainian some Ukrainian oblasts into itself, which is a correct fact, which is correct. But actually, so there was a specific word, and I have remembered the word I had to use, and seed. So those Ukrainian oblasts those Ukrainian oblasts are were ceded to or into the soil of Russia, which was decided by, which was officially decided by the referendum done in those ceded oblasts in Ukraine. now those oblasts are are categorized, or not are categorized, but are combined into the soil of Russia anyway. And Ukraine officially lost some territories, or some oblasts, and Ukraine had surrendered those oblasts to Russia. Or Ukraine ceded those territories to Russia, which is a situation of the Slavic War, or the Russo-Ukrainian War anyway. And this is that Slavic War is not the central topic, was the main track of this episode. Anyway, let me tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. The title is Part 4. Claim for refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies. It's ongoing, and so if you take a look at the description column of this episode, you can find out an explanation or writing showing some writing about writing the summary of this episode. So which means, if you'd like to know what I'm speaking, well, what I would speak out, or what I'm going to speak out in this episode. So it's fine to take a look at, or it's fine to read the writing in the description column of this episode, so that you don't have to, so that you can understand the summary of this episode. And the summary is, I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have. It's ongoing, which means I have restarted, or I began the process again. So in the last episode, so not in the last episode of my podcast, or the last episode I have spoken out. It's not the last episode of my entire podcast, but actually, so what I'm going to talk about is the plan I have talked about in the past, and the plan is about claiming for refund, or claiming refund against Swiss, against the tax authority, was against the Swiss tax office, which is the plan is all about. I'm sorry for my clumsy manner and I'm sorry for my clumsy manner of speaking English language, and my explanation would have my explanation is going to have, or going to not comprise, maybe my explanation is going to create or make a lot of grammatical mistakes and other types of mistakes, which are not which is deviating from the decent or the standard English language. But I should speak English language, because my country has a declining population, and the future of my country is dark, or my country is going to, or the economic performance and other aspects of performances of my country are going to fall down, or are going to plummet, which is the situation of my country. So my country is going to, I don't think my country is going to be over, but actually, so I'm sorry, but many foreign people have realized that this is my understanding about the phenomenon, which is, so the currency, or not the currency, yeah, the currency is alright. My currency, not my currency, the currency, or the currency of my country has a declining value, which means the value of Japanese, yeah, the value of, anyway. So this is the answer. This is the answer to the country I live in. What to the question I have posed, or I have spoken out in the beginning of this episode. Anyway, so the value of Japanese currency to those of other main currencies has significantly dropped, Anyway, so which I think is because the economic performance was other aspects of the performances of my country have significantly dropped, which is what foreign people have noticed or realized. Anyway, this is not related to the main track of this episode, and so coming back to the original track was coming back to the original topic of this episode, and I created those documents before, and so roughly summarizing this plan. So I have created a set of documents, and which means, so I got four papers from my securities company, and so that containing four papers are assigned to claim for refund for 1 year. But actually, I have not sent claims for refunds in the past years. So which is why, so because of the drop of Japanese yen, or because of the drop of the value of Japanese yen. So which is one of the reasons why I decided to create or why I decided to fill the documents or formalities I should have created anyway. So I created those documents. The documents required to claim refunds from the extraneously I paid from the dividends I got from Swiss companies to paid to the tax authority of Switzerland. Anyway, so I'm sorry for my complicated explanation. Anyway, so I wrote three years of refund claims for refunds into one set of papers. Anyway, but actually, so my securities company says that that manner of creating the documents was not so suitable. So which is why, so the securities company asked me to create decently, which means, so according to the securities company, so I should have created in the manner that so there one set of four papers has to contain a year or 1 year of claim for refunds or claim for refund, which is why, so this time I got, so so 4 years or before are not going to be paid to me, which means, so I have paid extraneous amounts of money in the past, but actually, so 4 years or before, or to the extraneous payments of 4 years ago or before, so I can't get refunds from the tax office of Switzerland. But actually, so among those 3 years, among the past 3 years, I may be able to get some refunds from the tax office of Switzerland, which is according to the explanation of a staff member of that securities companies. So getting 3 years of refunds can be possible. Anyway, so which is why, so I created, anyway, so I created 12 documents documents to claim refunds to claim for refunds from the extraneous payments of dividends of the Swiss companies I have some shares of, and so the claims plural form should have been used so anyway, so this time I'm going well, the security companies is going to send 3 years of claims for refunds to Swiss to the Swiss tax authority, which is my understanding, and I created for so to enable such or to proceed that plan of claiming the refunds of of the extraneous taxes I paid from the dividends of the Swiss companies I have shares of. So I created so I created 12 documents, which means 1 year contains 4 documents, and I claim it 3 years of documents, which is why I came to have to create 12 papers. Yeah, 1 year contains four papers, and so I claim 3 years of dividends anyway. So which was 3 years of extraneous taxes. So it's the 3 years of the extraneous taxes. So which is why I came to be necessitated to create four papers, which was, but actually I happened to be able to create time for filling up the columns of those 12 documents. Or I happened to create I happened to get time for creating those documents, which is why I could finally start the plan again. So which is why I wrote those words. It's ongoing. So maybe the process is ongoing. I have sent those. I have sent some necessary documents back to the securities companies. I have stored the stocks of Swiss companies. The Swiss companies. I have some stocks of those Swiss companies in the account of that stock, not stock, but securities companies. I'm sorry for my bad explanation. Well, so anyway, clumsy explanation or low skill of explaining. But actually, so which is the present situation of the plan of claiming refunds from to Swiss companies. Not Swiss companies. The claim is sent to Swiss tax to the Swiss tax authority. Anyway, I'm going to finish this episode, which is this is a temp. So this is a so how should I say? Not intermediary. Anyway, this is a report in the middle of proceeding the entire process of getting refunds from the Swiss company from the Swiss tax authorities. And the title is Part 4, Claim for Refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies. It's ongoing. And the description column says, I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have. It's ongoing. So if I get some results from the plan, so I'm thinking of telling you in the form of creating an episode or some episodes of this podcast. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you. Maybe so I said so that the extraneous taxes I paid for 4 years or before. So those taxes are not retrievable. But actually, so maybe that can be confusing in the case of English language. So which is why please understand that. So the taxes paid for over 4 years, or the taxes paid for 4 years or 4 years or more distant past, or the taxes paid over 4 years. 4 years ago, or more than 4 years ago, or 4 years ago, or more distant in the past. Such past taxes are not retrievable, which means so if you claim that those extraneous taxes you extraneously paid in the past, and if those taxes are paid for or over 4 years ago, you can't retrieve, or you are not going to be refunded. You are not going to be refunded. So those extraneous taxes to yourselves, which is so I created this segment of episode. That is because I'm a native speaker of English language, so which is why I wanted to disambiguate, or I wanted to clarify my own explanation. So which is why if you get confused, or if you are confused from which part of the past you can get taxes, and from which part of the past you can't get refunded taxes. So please understand. So please understand in such a manner. I mean, in the case of the tax refund of or taxation refund of Switzerland, and this time is how should I say, this time is the latest episode of in this series of podcasts. Well, that I don't maybe I should tell you the name of the series of this series. Anyways, I should tell you the name of this series, and the name of the series is claim for refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies. And this time, what I'm going to talk about is the result of my claim for refund from Switzerland, or from Swiss tax authority, or claim to the Swiss tax authority. And the inward of the claim is for refund or refundment. Anyway, so I'm sorry for my clumsy, or I'm sorry for my broke manner of speaking English language. And I'm really bad at speaking English language. That is because I'm a non-native speaker of English language. And by the way, hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. I Work to Live podcast version. So I couldn't pronounce even that easy word podcast well. Yeah. Well, did I pronounce the version well? Anyway, so as you can hear, so my pronunciation is bad actually. So for not for compared with the pronunciations of, or compared with those of native speakers of English language. And this is part 5. And so if you are confused with why I said part 5, so please, so if you get confused, please take a look at the description column of this episode, so that I'm thinking of pasting, or I'm going to paste the links of part 1 to part 4. I'm thinking of pasting the links from part 1 to part 4, or from So, and part 1 is the first one, and before the creation of this part 5, so part 4 is the latest episode in this series of podcast. Anyway, so I created. So this is a 5th episode. So which means I have created 4 episodes about the claim for refund to or from Swiss companies, or to or from Swiss tax authority. And the usage of preposition in this case is really difficult. So which means if you focus on getting money or receiving money from in this case from Swiss authority, or Swiss tax authority, or from Switzerland. So so in that case, from is the predilection, but preposition you should use to for explaining for example in for so I'm you are going to claim for you are going to claim refund from Switzerland from Swiss authority or from Swiss tax authority. So so the inward of the claim is that you receive money or you obtain or you get money from Switzerland, which means the tax office or the tax authority of Switzerland has to pay money, or it's a tax authority or it's a tax office of Switzerland who has to or which has to pay money for you. And so what I have claimed is the extraneous amount of tax I paid for Swiss government, and which is why and in this time the value of the currency of my country had significantly dropped, which is why I decided. And which is why I decided to maybe I told you in other episodes really different stuff from what I have told you. But actually, so in this case, so the drop or the lower value of the currency of my country is one of the reasons why I decided to apply for, or why I decided to claim for refund for receiving the extraneous amount of tax I paid for Swiss government, or I paid for Switzerland. And so this is a topic about which preposition to use. And another preposition is to, which means so if you focus on sending claims, or sending your claim to whom, or to somebody else. So if you focus on that aspect of the fact, so the preposition you should use is to in this case. So in this case, so what you're going to say is for example, so I claim for refund to Switzerland, or you claim for refund to Switzerland. Such in such a case, to is suitable word for telling it, for explaining the situation. And so then of course this is not the main track, or this is not the main track, or this has been still a digression from the main track of this episode, or from the main dish of this episode. And wait a moment please, actually. I said the title. The title is Part 5, Claim for Refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies, the result. And the detail, or the... Anyway, so, I write the word details in my note for creating not creating porn video, but actually creating episodes of my podcast. Anyway, so the summary is, I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have, and the result is what I'm going to talk about. So, wait a moment please, I'm going to tell you, I can't show you the result in podcast anyway. So, but actually, if I could, or if I can get time for, if I can get opportunities for creating videos of this episode of podcast, for example, maybe I don't show you the result, because this is my private, or this is my own this is my own information, and which is going to identify me, or which is going to identify who I am. So which is why I never show you the result of this I never show you the result of the refund, or of the refundment. And anyway, so I could receive, or I got documents about the claim, or about the claim for refund I sent Swiss tax authority this year. Yeah, this year I sent the claim. Or this year anyway. This year I claimed for refund for from Swiss tax authority or to Swiss tax authority. Anyway, so the result is that summarizing or describing the inward of claim, or summarizing the content of claim. So I claimed for 3 years of extraneous amounts of taxes, and the amount is 3 years, and for the past 3 years I paid I got dividends from some huge Swiss companies, and in that process, in the process of receiving the dividends, I paid regular amount of taxes to Swiss government, but actually I also paid extraneous amounts of tax to Swiss companies and Japanese government, and regular amount of taxes is what I paid for Japanese government. Anyway, I live in Japan, and how should I say? Anyway, so and this time I paid extraneous amount of tax for Switzerland anyway. So but actually, so I maybe I could I'm going to successfully obtain the extraneous amount from Switzerland. And as I told you, so I claimed 3 years of extraneous taxes, and the amount ranges, or the amount covers 3 years of dividends, or 3 years of taxes necessary for paying dividends to me, and that payment not that payments, or anyway, it must be Swiss government which took that extraneous amount of taxes from the dividends paid by Swiss companies. Paid by Swiss company. I have shares of, and I'm a beneficiary. I was a beneficiary I was a beneficiary in the act of receiving or receipts. Anyway, so wait a moment, please. I applied this time. So the dividends, or the extraneous amount of taxes of paid in 2019 and 2020 and 2021, and so checking out the amount of extraneous taxes, well, I'm supposed to be able to get anyway. So so each year has a value. Each year has a price of money I can receive if I claim for refund to Swiss tax authority anyway. And it's of course, in this case it is Swiss tax authority which has to pay money for me. And because Swiss tax authority has gotten extraneous amount of money from my dividends, I was supposed to obtain, or I was supposed to get, and this time the amount I'm supposed to be able to get is the extraneous amount of 2019 and 2020, which are the prices of extraneous, which are the prices of money, or which are the amount of money, I'm supposed to be able to get in the really near future, actually, I think. And wait a moment, please. I should tell you I should tell you what is written in this document I received, and refund of Swiss withholding tax and application in the name of, and so my Japanese name is written in this document, which is why I can't show you everything to you, and I don't tell you my Japanese name, and what is written what is written is what is written last, or it's continued afterwards anyway. And dear sir or madam, we are writing in reference to your claim for refund of this anticipatory tax. So we have examined your application, and in the next fortnight we'll transfer. So Swiss franc. I can get money in Swiss franc. So Confederatio Helvetica franc, which is the official name for the currency of Switzerland, and the price is written in the document, and to that money it's sent. The amount of money is going to be transferred to the following account, and the account is written in the lower part of the document. And please call us if you have any questions. You can reach us Mondays to Fridays from plural terms are used for Mondays and Fridays from 8:30 to 11:30, and from 13:30 to 16:30, and yours faithfully. Yeah, and refund team. Yeah, which is the name of the name of the party, or which is the name of the organization which sent me this document, maybe. And and by the way, when I read this document, I felt that the lunchtime was quite long. There were 2 hours of lunchtimes given for the staff members of this tax office or tax authority anyway. So I don't know the working times of the members of the staff of Swiss tax offices anyway. But actually, Swiss tax offices open from Mondays to Fridays from 8:30 to 11:30, and from 13:30 to 16:30 in the afternoon anyway. So and I got so in this case I got 2 papers, and one paper is one paper is assigned to a year, which means I have got two papers. Two papers, and in your document. So the price of the anyway in your paper. So the amount of money of 2019 is written, and the other has the amount of money of 2022, which is the structure of the documents I got anyway. So maybe I can get that amount of money, but actually, so I don't tell you the prices. I don't tell you the amount of money, and I don't anyway. But actually, so maybe this is just I sent a claim for refund because for getting some knowledge about refundments, or the refunds of taxes. So I didn't know how those refunds are going to be processed. I didn't know how the refunds of taxes are going to be would be processed. So which is why this time, so I wanted to. This is another reason why I did this, because so I wanted to know how those refunds are going to be processed, and those I wanted to know how those refunds or how those monetary refunds are going to be sent to me, which is what I wanted to know, and I could get knowledge about that. And this time I'm going to end this episode, so the result is that maybe I can get the money, and I think I'm going to get money I'm going to get money of 2021 maybe, which is because 2021 is the latest one, which is why, so, it's, I think it's natural for this system to send me the amount of money I extraneously paid in 2021 maybe. So which is why, so, this time I could get the amount, I'm going to be able to get the monies of 2019 and 2020. So which is what I'd like you to know this time. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you. And I'm not going to tell you the title and the conclusion. Because it's the summary of this episode. Should I tell you? I should tell you anyway. The title is Part 5, Claim for Refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies. The result. And I'm talking about, which is the summary of this episode, and I'm talking about the claim for refund of the shares of Swiss companies I have, the result. So if you'd like to know the keyword of these transactions, please listen to other parts or other episodes of my podcast related to this series. And the name of series is the same, Claim for Refund with regards to shares of Swiss companies, which is what, anyway, so Anyway, if you'd like to know tax systems or tax systems of Switzerland, please listen to my episodes. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you. And finally, I forgot to tell you this, so the creation of this episode, or the time of the creation of this episode, or the recording time of this episode, or the time of recording this episode is, so maybe the middle of December in 2022, which is the time of the creation, the creation of podcast of this episode, or which is the time of creating this episode of podcast. And another stuff to point out is that, so I got this in the form of envelope, which is natural, but actually, so so I got those papers, or I got that document, or that bunch of document in the form of envelope, and there's a, well, not there is a, there are writing, so there's a writing composed of some words on the upper left corner, not on the upper right, but on the upper left corner of the envelope. And so this is, I think, 4 languages I used, and each language has, or each line has 2 words. And anyway, so I'm sorry for my clumsy description, but actually, anyway, so there was no English translation, which means, so what is written in the first line is, or in the first line, or in the headline, or in the highest line, not in lines, or in rows. There are 4 rows in the upper left corner of the envelope, and what is written in the highest row is Schweizerische Genossenschaft, or ID Genossenschaft. I don't need German language, maybe, but actually, I think the highest row is German language, and the second highest row is Confederation Suisse. I think, this is, I don't know whether but actually, I think this is my speculation, but this is French language. The second row, or the second highest line is French language, and I don't know the other two languages, and which is, the third one is Confederation Switzerland, and the fourth is Confederation Switzerland. I don't know, maybe Flemish language, or wait a moment, please. Switzerland has so 4 languages, maybe. Switzerland has 4 official languages, maybe, and Romansh languages, I think is, this is So I'm reading a web page of Wikipedia, and which is a web page of Switzerland in English language, and this had all not all four languages. This didn't have all four languages, but this has five languages, and the first line is Schweizerische Eidgenossenschaft. I don't know German language, but it's why, so, my manner of reading must be wrong. And the second line is French, which is correct, and the third line, Confederation Switzerland. So I felt this might be Italian language, but actually, and which is correct, which was correct, and Confederation Switzerland, and not this is not a Flemish language, but a words of Romansh language, and at last, so Latin language wasn't written on the envelope, but actually, so there were two words of Latin words in the page, in the web page of Wikipedia, and which is Confederatio Helvetica, which is Latin word, and I knew that because the official name of the currency, monetary currency of the country is Confederatio Helvetica franc. I don't know how to read those. I don't know the correct manner of reading. I don't know how to correctly read the name of the local currency in Switzerland, and which is why I don't know whether this pronunciation was, I don't know whether those pronunciations that I have pronounced in those five languages are correct or not. But actually, five. So for the envelope, four languages are used, and for the web page of Wikipedia, five languages are used. And if there's a significance in the envelope, if you'd like to find, if you are going to find some significance in the envelope, so what is important is that the world the world which doesn't use English is really wide, which I think is the significance of the envelope. So which means, so English language has become the international language through which people with different backgrounds and having different mother tongues communicate each other. But actually, so there's a country in which English is used, of course, but actually, so English is a language of minority people, or English is a language, it's one of the languages, for example, immigrants use, or only few households use, and the major language was a language. The largest amount of people use in Switzerland is German language, and the second most frequently used language is French language, I think, in the case of Switzerland. But so in such a situation, English is the number of the people using English language as their mother tongue is quite low, which is what I'd like you to know in this segment. And which means, so English people are, for example, so when it comes to the countries of colored people, English can be dominant for in the case of international communication. But actually, of course, in the case of Switzerland, international language must be English language. But actually, so when it comes to when it comes to the communications among family members and among your friends, English is not important. What matters is German language, for example, or French language in most cases in Switzerland. Which is what I think. So thinking about which, so the other world than the world using English is has been still large, which is a significance. You should not. I think you know which is the significance that the envelope has, which is what I thought. Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon. Welcome to the podcast versions. So I didn't pronounce my name well, but actually, so I have just finished. Not I have just finished. I have just finished. So past particle should have been used anyway. I have just finished creating an episode of you know of the request of for getting extraneous amount of dividends I paid for Italian tax authority anyway. But actually, so you know, I have finished creating that episode for in the case of you know Italian companies, because I have some shares of some Italian companies, and this time I haven't had a plan of creating this episode, but actually, so days before it was days before when you know when I get the money I extraneously paid in the past you know for Swiss tax office or for Swiss, I paid extraneous amount of tax for you know Swiss tax office, and so you know this time I confirmed that you know the money arrived at me, which means so you know I sent a request, or I sent a claim for refund to Swiss tax authority, or to Swiss tax office, and this time so you know I got that money I requested in the past, and this time I got that money this time, and I confirmed that on the documents which were created by the security company I used this time, and I'm creating this episode in February, or in the middle of February in 2023, and this is a report for you, or this is a report for this is a report for informing you of the result I created as I create for the you know for the series, not the request, for the series I created for you know having Swiss tax office refunding the money to me, or returning the money to me. I have extraneously paid anyway. So you know I'm sorry for my complicated explanation, but this time so you know I got money from Swiss tax authority this time, and that's it. Thank you very much for everything. See you. And so you know I have accidentally ended, but actually you know this is not. So I haven't got all the amount of money I claimed this time for not for but to Swiss tax authority. But actually you know part of the requested amount of part of the claimed amount of extraneous tax is had been you know paid back to paid for me this time.